Hey everyone, Third 12 here. Thank you guys for coming back as we continue on for more solving all of these fucking pieces. Though I'm getting pretty close to finishing it though, because this should be getting close to the 4th year curse. Which, yay, then we'll almost be back to normal time. Oh god. I really want to know how they get past it. I want to know. But I'm glad I'm finally fucking learning everything, though. Good lord, I've needed this. Anyways, let's continue on. Okay, I'll get going. Thank you. Don't mention it. Come back anytime, okay? Hi, I'm home. Hey, Uncle Yoshiro. Long time no see. Hey, Mion. Are you going home? I have to give my clients a ride. A ride? Oh, you're talking about your realtor business, huh? The Sonosaki family is one of the largest landowners here in the Hinamizawa area. However, since they're all the way out here in the countryside, all the lots are just sitting there. Recently, the land owned by the Sonosaki family was put on sale in lots. Some relatives opposed the idea in the family meeting by saying we shouldn't sell off land that we handed down from our ancestors. But Grandma snapped and shut them up. That's one way to get your way. Some of the unused lots, fields were reformed into vacant lots and released for public sale. Actually, I had some questions too. Because the Sonosaki family is wealthy, we have plenty of land as well as money. Why do we have to sell our land? What's more surprising is that Grandma was the one who came up with the idea. I thought she'd get furious if someone ever even mentioned something like that. Okay, if you're near the station, be sure to stop by. I'll treat you to a cup of barley tea. Sure, thank you very much. So how's your business going? I'm surprised there are actually big city people who are interested. I guess they're nouveau rich people who live in the big city. Yet also want a house in the countryside. Well, I guess some people are curious. There's actually someone who wants to move here. He said he wants to build an art studio, so he must be an artist of some kind. Fuck off, Keiichi. Phew, that's great. Oh gosh, I better go now. Supposedly he planned a tour to show them the lots, and he is the one driving the bus. I guess it's about time for the tour to end. He leaves in a hurry. Hey, can I ask you something? Why do you want to sell the land? You don't like newcomers. I don't like newcomers, and I don't like big city people either. But the village needs them. It's like refreshing the air. Is it good for the village to have new people move in? This is a wonderful village, but the world is changing quickly. A very small change took 10 or even 20 years to happen in the past. It was such a quiet and unchanging village. Oh, that's rural life. In this village, nothing is different from yesterday and today. It's too boring for me, though. But you made a friend, right? Ryugu Rena moved here and you became your friend. You told me you were happy that you have a friend who is your age. Yeah, making friends unexpectedly is fun. I remember you saying that school is boring when Rena is absent. Do you remember that? Are you saying that's the good thing about letting new people come? No matter how cold it is, you still have to ventilate. Otherwise, the room will be filled with dead air and you'll suffocate. You open the window knowing the freezing cold air will come in. I don't. Fuck that shit. No, I don't do that because it's cold. I want to keep the heat inside. Fuck the cold. Letting outside people come is like ventilating the village? Sure. And letting fresh air and getting rid of bad air like us. If I bring up the Hojo family, I know Grandma will explode, so I don't. But I think what Grandma is trying to say includes things like the ongoing isolation of the Hojo family. Even now, when she remembers about what had happened at the explanatory meeting, she gets pissed. But I guess even she feels that needs to come to an end. But of course she can't just say she'll forgive them. Not even when she's at this stubborn age. She can't lose face by openly saying she'll forgive them. I think she's behaving like a little schoolgirl who actually likes a person, but when she's face to face with her, she treats her poorly. Maybe a person returns to being a child once they are old enough. Well, there is some truth to that, actually. Like, they do kind of regress back into a more emotional state. Yeah, nothing wrong with it. I mean, they can't really control it. It just happens when your brain, like, kind of degrades down when you get older. It's just that's just how it works, and that is. Usually that's what they would appear. I'm not just talking about Grandma. The same can be said about all the elderly people in the village. No, maybe I should say the evil in this village. I think that's what Grandma meant by bad air. There's no use circulating the air in a closed room. Unless you open the windows and let fresh air in, the air in the room won't be purified. We don't know if there's actually people moving here, but don't you think you expect too much from whoever moves here? Just Rena moving here changed you, Mion. Whoever moves here will change the village. If possible, I hope some young and energetic people with charisma to lead the village will come. They need to be the ones to put us old people away and into heaven. Oh, wow. Well, fuck off, Keiji. Are you talking about Grandpa? Damn you. Nobody's talking about him. Here, have the housekeeper put away the tea set on the veranda. Okay. I will. Mion. The day Hojo Satoshi disappeared, you came to me, huh? Yeah, I guess I did. That is what woke me up. This problem with the Hojo family, we can't just let time take care of it. We have to take care of it ourselves as soon as possible. But you can't do it yourself, so you're going to have an outsider take care of it? That's the best I can do. Okay, there you go. There's the reason why the last chapter mattered. They needed someone to fix the problem for them. That makes sense. Even though she could have probably fixed it herself, better to let the people afterwards take care of the issues. No matter how bad your hand is, the next card may change the flow of the game, so maybe it's a good idea to draw cards from the stack. Your generation will be the new wind. Let a new wind come from the outside. And you'll be the wind from the inside. When both winds create a gale, blow away the stale air from the village. Salvation by others, huh? You're the one who started the fire, and you're trying to have your grandchild take care of it? Oh, don't say that. As the new leader of the Sonozaki family, bring the new wind into the village. If you say that's my job as the next leader, please, Mion. I'm too old. The only thing I can do now is to be despised by others. The wind chime sounds quietly. That must be the sign to let us know a cool breeze is on the way. I like that. That was a nice little chapter right there. I like that one. Because it gives insight about her grandmother and all that. That she's not the technical worst. She just has to put on an act like she is the worst. That hasn't happened yet. Tea set on the veranda. Needs to inspect. It's gotta be that one. An artist inspecting it. Yeah? Maybe? No, of course not. Fuck. Even though they said, oh, an artist is inspecting the law. Fuck off. Anything, a bat to beat her to death. Hasn't happened. There's still a little left. Are we at this point yet or no? No. I mean, even though he's on the baseball team. I don't think they haven't done C17 yet. C117. Hasn't happened. Satoshi isn't aware of his sins yet. That's the problem. Fuck. The Revenge of Takunomiyo. Huh. I don't know. Is it this one? Yeah, it is, apparently. Hey, Nakagawa. Long time no see. So have you been doing that? You know? No, not at all. It's not fun getting old. You must concentrate when you're working with clay. If you put it off for too long, your senses get dull and there's no point. Sensei, allow me to introduce. Major Takano. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today. I truly appreciate it. I really didn't make time for you, actually. I was told that I could have good, raw sea urchins. Sea urchins are good for you, did you know? Rich in vitamin A and they're good for your skin. Women like sea urchins, right? Ha ha ha. It is true that sea urchins are rich in vitamin A, but compared to spinach, it's not anything that's worth making a big fuss about. Well, none of that matters here. He seems to be an unpleasant man, so I just wanted to criticize him. These men are the directors of the Alphabet Project who hold the funding for the Irai institution. Also people who are in the positions of being able to offer their opinions to those directors. To put it in a simpler way, they're the new owners of the Irai institution. Although not as much as Father Koizumi was, they're also the leaders and masterminds behind various fields. I have to be very careful not to upset them. Therefore, there's no way I would have had an ability to call them in. By using the influence that the Koizumi faction once had, I finally managed to get this chance. Father Koizumi, who gave me his full support to make everything go my way, is not here anymore. I'm on my own from this point on, to open up a path. But this isn't my solo stage today. I can't let the people who offered me this chance lose faith, so I have to wait patiently until it's my turn. My purpose today is to explain how impressive of a research topic the Hinamizawa syndrome is, and ask for an indefinite extension of the research. Huh. Yeah, okay. Good lord. That's all. Even if you have, this miracle drug, an indefinite extension? Oh, get the fuck out of here. No. They only think about money, so they don't even know the hidden potential of the Hinamizawa syndrome. They don't realize it's worth spending a lot of money on. Or maybe they do and they realize, hey, we probably shouldn't develop biological weapons. That'd probably be a bad thing to do. It's not a research to find the existence of an unknown parasite, but it's something that may overthrow the basic knowledge of human anthropology. A Nobel Prize can't even signify enough. It won't be easy trying to explain all that to men who know nothing about it, but I have to. That's why I spent many hours making easy to understand support documents so it will be easy for amateurs to understand. Well, actually, that's your job. That in any kind of report, whenever you're giving a speech, act like they don't know anything about it and explain everything. But yeah, P.S. note, the fucking parasites don't control every single person. No. I just failed to agree to that premise. I don't even agree that it's a fucking parasite in the brain. I think it's just some airborne virus, not a parasite. Sometimes we make confusing documents on purpose because we don't like dealing with uneducated people, but this time it's different. Well, when you're pandering for money, you're going to want to make that as easy to understand as possible. I can't look down at them. I must sincerely try to make them understand. The easy to understand support documents are in a huge pile. I feel like we are wasting time eating traditional Japanese food in such a relaxed mood. Get the fuck over yourself. I want to get to the point and explain to them in detail so they can understand. But there's a saying, an anxious better gets a little. Sure. So I have to be patient. Whatever that means. To be honest, I don't think the Alphabet Project was that great until now. In the end, it was really nothing more than a sandbox play. All the old men think we are still in the Pacific War. A sandbox where those old men use connections they don't own to draw a dream of a Japanese empire revival. Do you know how much public funding was wasted because of those old men's delusions? I heard they were pinning investigators on people like Okuno Sensei and trying to catch them for embezzlement from the old board of directors. Ha ha ha. That's what you get for trying to suck up on those old men. Of course, none of it can be made public, so I guess they'll be held responsible or demoted in another form. This is what the country gets for letting these ghosts of the war run around freely all this time. Boy, these grilled sea urchins are awesome. This is rather hard for me to start. I'm really sorry to ask you something like this in the middle of all of this, but if I may have a moment of your time. Huh? You're from the institution, right? You were researching some kind of local disease in Nagano or Gifu, right? What's going on? The board has decided to stop the research for military application. The research itself is to stop within 3 years as well. Oh no, sorry, that's still being discussed. Anyhow, the research is scheduled to be shut down within a few years. Ah yes, I remember now. The Uri institution had a bad reputation even among the old board of directors. It sucked up a huge amount of funding without any form of inspection. I don't know why, but someone high up kept pushing it off for some reason. Because of that, nobody can really say anything about it, and it was left alone. But you know, this guy loved to flirt around with women, so maybe that had something to do with it. Is he trying to say I used my body to hook up with Father Koizumi? I mean, to be fair, wouldn't be the worst thing you've ever done in your life, or will be doing in your life. So, you know, that's the least of your problems. He's insulting both of us. But I hold my anger in. And to be fair, it's never going to produce anything of tangible results. I'm sorry, this is just one of those things that you're just going to sink a bunch of fucking money into, and it's not going to produce anything. You'll get a cure, maybe, hopefully. You're never going to be able to weaponize it. Hopefully not. But they're going to be spending untold amounts of money and still not really make any progress. I can't be bothered by something like this. Anyway, today I would like to explain to you about our institute's research details and would like to ask you to reconsider the decision about the Ire institution. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend this meeting today. Well, I guess they don't give out free sea urchins for nothing, huh? I explained to them how much meaning the Hinamizawa syndrome carries, while being very careful not to go too fast. I tried to let them know that the Hinamizawa syndrome's potential is not limited to small things like military application, but it has a much more important meaning. It may explain some ideologies and religions. It may even shake the very definition of a human being. I take my time and explain very slowly. See, I'm sorry, but you telling me that, I'll be like, that just makes me not want to fund it even that much more. Blissful ignorance, I'm sorry. I don't want to know I'm being controlled by a parasite. I'm not confident in all of that had gotten through to those boorish men, but I'm happy if they understood even just a part of it. As long as they understand how much of a magnificent discovery the Hinamizawa syndrome is. Yeah, probably not. Thank you, Major. I see. We'd like to discuss among ourselves, so could you please excuse yourself? Yes, thank you. Obviously, they can't discuss in front of me. I gave them all the documents with them. I just hope they would accept them in a good way. I leave the room and close the sliding door. The room next door is a preparation room, so I head there. But I stop. I shouldn't be doing this, but I try to listen in through the sliding door. Well, aren't you just a bitch? Oh my, I don't know what to say. I feel sorry for everyone from the previous board of directors that they actually believe this horse shit. Please say that. Please say it. I know. Koizumi pushed this strongly. I've met him once before when he took the position as the founding director of XX Pharmaceuticals. He seemed like a very intelligent person to me. I guess you just can't win against aging. It makes me realize how important final moments are for humans. But it is the fact that the very rare disease called the Hinamizawa syndrome really exists. So not everything is a delusion. I hear their institution has already succeeded in understanding the disease and developed a treatment. So why do they need to keep researching? Isn't that enough? It is, but Takano is not satisfied with that because she's fucking insane. For modern Japan, we have to be careful with events that might make neighboring countries nervous. You better believe you're gonna get your ass fucking invaded if they find out you're doing secret research into biological weapons, especially like that. Oh, you better believe they're gonna go in there and destroy everything. Other countries are. They're not gonna let you do that. And I think the military-related issues are the most sensitive ones. So at the very least, we must erase the fact that a research for military purposes has been going on for the past few years immediately. Does it suffer from the discontinuation of military research? Yes. If we stop the research immediately, the fact that Hinamizawa syndrome is a research to create a biological weapon remains. We should hide the fact no matter what purpose the research is for. If possible, it would be best if the Hinamizawa syndrome disappears. It's true. If the disease remains, then sooner or later, someone will become curious about it and dig up a hole which was filled by us. I think we should follow the decision of the board of directors. As soon as the Area Institution eradicates the disease, we should have them destroy all the evidence of the research before disbanding. I guess that's for the best. It's not the matter of the research getting a Nobel Prize, but it is a useless research for the post-war Japan. Besides, the disease has existed ever since the ancient times, right? And we've made it this far without any problems. I always thought this research was just poking around the bushes from the beginning. Yeah, it kinda is. It's really... You're not gonna... I wouldn't want to fund it, for the sheer fact that it's not worth it. It's not worth the hassle. All the money you're gonna be putting in, and then you develop a weapon. What if someone steals it? Then you're fucked. What if you lose it? Oops. That's not good. It's just no. Eradicate it. Be done with it. Have a nice day. We'll pay you a lot of money. Go enjoy the rest of your life with your lump sum of money. Me too. I don't doubt the existence of the Hinamizawa syndrome, but a Dr. Takano who discovered the disease is exaggerating the disease too much. That's what I believe. I believe that, yeah, there's probably a disease, but I don't think it's a full-blown parasite that controls human minds, and all human minds are controlled by parasites. That's just stretching a bit. That's just really grasping. And I'm sorry, Dr. Takano wasn't exactly the most sane person. When I was reading the documents, I thought he had a unique interpretation of things, too. First of all, I've never heard of a parasite that's capable of controlling people's thoughts. It's just too much. Well, because it's really strange, because there's a lot of ifs that have to be true to be able to do that. To be able to have a parasite to be able to control someone's mind. It's just, it's rough. It's a lot of leaps. A disease, oh, that's completely believable. Completely believable. Parasite, living organism in the brain tissue that somehow gets nutrients from the brain. I would assume that it leaches off the blood somehow. It's just a lot of questions. If we explain religions with this, then Buddha and Jesus are queen carriers. Is that it? If we reveal something like that to the world, we'll be bashed from every single nation in the world. But even that doesn't make sense because the people didn't kill themselves, according to the text of whenever they got separated from them. So even that's not even true, if you even want to go through that route. Because, like, whenever you're supposed to be separated or the queen carrier dies, everyone else goes insane. They haven't gone insane and killed each other, like, themselves yet. They haven't clawed out their throats. So, I mean, it's just, Unless they want to say, oh, it's a different parasite. Come on. Come on. Don't... I think it's grasping at straws. I think you're trying to reel in something bigger than what you're actually going to get. You got a disease? Be happy with it. It's recognized. He's recognized. Boo fucking who, you don't get everything that you wanted. Settle for that. Religion is pretty scary nowadays. If there are parasites that live in animal brains, then I guess we can say there are parasites that live in human brains too. But for them to control human thoughts, that's just way too unique, you know? And to be fair, human thoughts are a little bit different than animal thoughts. It's just a little bit more complex. Because the human body is a little bit more complex than other animals that get infected by the parasites. Like rats. I mean, human and rats are similar, but not similar enough. As I peek in from the gap within the sliding door, I'm trapped with with an unbelievable sense of deja vu. It's my first time experiencing this, but it doesn't feel like the first time. Flashback to Takano getting stepped on. I don't know why, but the memory is so sad and so painful. Huh? Why tears? When I realize I see a very nostalgic carpeted room on the other side of the sliding door, not a tatami-floored room. The room is filled with the smell of dust, mixed with the smell of evaporated medicine, but the air is extremely soothing to me. And there's my grandfather. His article that he poured his heart into was denounced, yet he wasn't allowed to even cry. This isn't a delusion. Because within the documents I left with those men, there are lots of references to the article my grandfather wrote. So I'm not surprised for my grandfather to be standing right there explaining it to them himself. Together with my tears from seeing the sight of my beloved grandfather, I watched these men insult and ridicule his great work. See, the thing is, you have to approach it from a neutral eye. When two separate people are like, yeah, this is fucking stupid. Two sets of people, it's maybe I should get a third party to independently look at this and see if it's bullshit or not. Or maybe I remove my emotions from it because she's obviously going to say, great work, because he saved her and all that, which is understandable. But she's incredibly biased. I've seen this site before, and the site should have ended then. But why is it repeating again? Because you expected different results? I can only peek through the sliding door blankly at this strange world where reality and illusion overlap. The Major is rather weird. And Koizumi, who believed in something as ridiculous as this, is weird too. But the weirdest one of all is the discoverer who wrote this article. It's mixed with expectations and delusions, and it looks like a fiction. It looks more like a fiction than a thesis. I think this will be a big hit once it gets published, you know? You're absolutely right. I have a friend who is the head of a publishing company. I bet he'll love this. Ha ha ha. Should have still done that. That would have been a good idea. You fucking dumbass. I would have done that. Oh, I'm cashing it in. Because if you get the rights for the book and all that, hell yeah. I want to get that shit published, use the money for research. Then if you find the research, then it's like, hey, I based this story on real life. Then I can publish it under fiction and non-fiction. This is not a laughing matter, everyone. A huge amount of funds were put into this over the past few years. The worst thing is that the equipment to gas the villagers in case of an emergency has been prepared already. Nobody can find out about this. For such a plan to exist is scary enough. If people find out all the equipment are prepared, the whole country will be against us. On top of that, the cost to maintain the equipment is enormous. You don't think they're really being maintained, do you? It's probably a fake project just to channel money through. What would they say anyway? If a girl dies, the whole village will go crazy at the same time? What kind of comic are we talking about? I'm sorry, but there's fucking no way to test. There's no way to test that. Let's kill Rika. No way to test it.